What's up, Warriors fans, and welcome to Warriors Latest. I am your host, Max Arizin. As always, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like what you hear today, as I do post new Warriors videos daily. Now, we're into the first week in September, and we're seeing how things drag on. And at least I saw the other day a good rumor that might be one of those last chance sign and trade offers that Jonathan Kuminga will get, and that's for Domantas Sabonis. Now, when I saw this rumor, I was sort of 50-50. Like, one, yes, it's a good deal, but would the Kings go for it? I'm not entirely sure. Now, I looked at this deal. It's Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, as well as an unprotected first-round pick and a pick swap in a number of years down the road for Sabonis, and there's some other parts of the trade where Buddy Hield and another pick swap go to the Hawks where they offset some cash. Now, I look at this trade and I'm like, it's great for the Warriors because it provides that man in the middle that they've been lacking since God knows when. Like, Zaza Pachulia, and I've said it over and over again, they need that guy in the middle just to sort of fix things in the post where Kevon Looney has sort of left a void. And not only that, just somebody big who can really muscle with the better centers in the league. Because as good as Looney was, he's not exactly the guy that can really muscle. I mean, I remember during that Timberwolves series, he needed him and Draymond to really go up against Rudy Gobert in order to grab those rebounds. There were tons of second chance opportunities, but because of Gobert, they couldn't capitalize on it, and they had to fight for every single rebound. So getting a guy like Sabonis is going to be great. But sending out Moody, Hield, and Kuminga, I'm not upset about. I just don't know if that would be enough to get the deal done for Sabonis. On top of that, you have to entice the Kings enough to get interest. I know they haven't been 100%. I think it's more on the terms of 75 with where they want to go with Sabonis. So there is that opportunity right there, but you're going to have to sweeten the pot. And by sweetening the pot, I mean just offering more draft picks where you can. Because one surefire unprotected first round pick, along with a pick swap, isn't going to get the deal done. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out, even though the money works in the trade. It's about the enticing the Kings to do the trade. Now, we've seen last minute training camp deals happen. We saw it with Karl Anthony Towns last year. So it's not impossible that this might happen. I just look at it and think, okay, I'm the Warriors. I see why I want to make this trade. I'm the Kings. I'm not entirely sure. Now, for Kuminga's standpoint, this is a great deal for him because his contract would be 4 years, $121 million. Now that's pretty solid if you're getting that much, because what is that? That's $30 million a year. So he's getting his money and he's happy. It's 30,250. Yeah. So it's 30,250,000 a year. That's if my math. Yeah, that should be right. But yes. Okay. Yeah. Since it's 121, but he gets his money. He's happy. He's out of Golden State, but. Do the Kings want it? I'm not entirely sure. Big, great centers like Domantas Sabonis don't come around very often, and you need to bring in guys that'll back them up. They already traded away Jonas Valanciunas to the Nuggets earlier this year, and I saw him as a good backup, potential starter should Sabonis go down last year. But that didn't happen, and now he's over in Denver. And it makes me wonder, all right, what is the game plan here? And they don't have a viable fill for that starter role if they trade Sabonis, which is pretty much why I'm on the fence of seeing this happen. Now, since we're in September, and we just saw some big news on the restricted free agency front, and that's Cam Thomas signing his qualifying offer. And Cam Thomas, we look at him. The market was not there for him. He wasn't going to get more than what the Nets were offering. So instead of taking that 1-year deal the Nets are offering for $15 million, he decides to take the qualifying offer to maintain his bird rights and have that right to veto any trade. So I definitely understand why he's doing that, but that should be a direct signal for Jonathan Kuminga. Because you got to make a decision. If they're not going to trade you and you're not going to sign the 2-year 1-and-1 deal, you got to do something. Like, this is enough is enough. It's time to take the qualifying offer and just put this past the entire team, because going into training camp, you don't want this hanging over your head, especially when guys like Jimmy and Draymond have been constantly working out with each other over the summer to get better. Your core guys are working to get better. If you're going to sell yourself in free agency, you want to sell yourself as somebody who's confident and can move past a bad issue to be successful. It kind of reminds me of if you've ever read Relentless by Tim Grover. He says there are coolers, closers, and cleaners. Coolers shy away from the situation when the going gets tough. Closers step up to the closers step up to the situation when the situation is right for them. Cleaners make the situation right for them. And if Kuminga wants to be a star in this league, he's got to be that cleaner. He's got to be that guy. It's like, all right, this scenario is not a good scenario for me, but fuck it, I'm going to make it work. And by making it work, he's going to add another layer to this championship team. And if they win a title, he can walk away from the Warriors, head held high, get a big contract somewhere else, and then be the centerpiece of that team. But until he signs either his qualifying offer or his 1-and-1 deal, we're not going to see it. So he should just sign his qualifying offer, be done with it, and allow the team and himself to move on and get into the season with a singular mindset of winning an NBA championship. But now that it's also September, one of the more interesting stories came out is that Ben Simmons is thinking about retiring at 29 years old. Now, that is easily one of the wildest things I've ever heard in at least 3 years. You know what? No. Since Derrick Rose walked away from the game. Because this is very similar. I remember Derrick Rose, he walked away from the game because he lost his passion, then comes back and feels that passion. Now, Derrick, he had legitimate injuries, whereas Ben Simmons, it's more mental. But I think just getting past that mental state is going to be important. I think the Warriors are the perfect place to do it. Having Draymond take him under his wing is literally the perfect opportunity to revitalize Simmons' career and give the Warriors a superstar defender coming off the bench, as well as a top-tier a top-tier ball handler and court general to take over when the likes of Steph are on the bench. Then they bring in, say they bring in Buddy Hield or even Seth Curry, Malcolm Brogdon when they sign them being the off-the-ball players, getting those easy spot-up threes, and next thing you know, the Warriors are up 15. So I'd like to see the Warriors bring him in and really just work with him. Do what it takes to get him to where he needs to be and get his mind right. Because you look at guys like that, if they lost the passion to play, I mean, we saw this a long time ago when he was at LSU. He's in it for the money. I get that, and he's been pretty much coasting on talent the entire time. I mean, he is a very talented player who has shortcomings, but for some reason, it's just not working. We see those summer videos of him working on a shot, and it never translates. So something's obviously going wrong. I don't think Simmons is telling us the entire truth of him working on his game, but I think with Draymond, a guy who will hold him accountable to the point where they might fight each other, I think that's good for Simmons, and I think Golden State is the best place for him. And on top of that, I think winning or being part of a good winning culture and a team who has a singular focus of winning a championship will just jumpstart his engine and really bring him back to where he was in 2018. So I want the Warriors to bring him in. Now is the perfect opportunity, and I know he wants more than minimum, but I get the feeling Mike Dunleavy can sell him on the idea. It's like, hey, just take the minimum. It's a 1-year deal. We're going to fix you, and then we're going to move you out. Or you could stay an extra year and take over for Steph once his contract expires, be that court general for a bridge in that transition period. So I feel like selling Simmons on it is the real hard part, but bringing him back to where he was is going to be the easy part. But again, it is September, summer's over, signs are clear. It's time to get back to work. Ben Simmons, we got to sign you. We got to bring you in. We got to make you the player you want to be. Jonathan Kuminga, or Mike Dunleavy, if we're not going to trade you for Sabonis, talk to Kuminga, tell him to sign his qualifying offer, and just be done with it so we can all be on the same page. Like, as a fan, I'm tired of waiting. This is enough enough. It's been 2 months. Like, it's been since June 30th that we've been waiting for something to happen. And right now, we got to wait for something to happen. We saw Cam Thomas sign the restricted free agency thing. It looks like it's all going to be a domino effect. Cam Thomas is going to sign his qualifying offer. Kuminga, you need to sign your qualifying offer. Josh Giddey, he's probably going to sign his qualifying offer because I saw what the Bulls offered him, and it was $88 million over 4 years. If I am Josh Giddey, I am not signing that just because I know my worth, or I know his worth, and he knows his worth, and his worth is at least 5 years, $100 million. Like that, or you know what? 5 years, $110 million. Let's go with that. 22 a year, but that's a guy. That's a cornerstone piece of your franchise. So if these guys are going to sign qualifying offers, and it's going to be a hot storyline going into this season. So I look forward to Kuminga bringing it back for this year. I look forward for things really starting to get done, at least for the Warriors offseason, and start to round out the roster and really start to come together and chase that championship. So let's get it done, get back to work, boys, and let's get this title. Now, that's all we have today for Warriors Latest. As always, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you have any other ideas for who the Warriors should acquire before the season starts, feel free to comment below, as I love hearing your thoughts. And as always, go Dubs.